Hey, what's up my friends? My name is Bill. Welcome to Cars That Last. On today's video, the top 10 most satisfying vehicles that are known to last 300,000 or more miles. Now, what makes these vehicles the most satisfying? We're going to take a look at a list of vehicles that was provided by Consumer Reports magazine. Now, I love the Consumer Reports annual auto issue. I've been using these for over 20 years. The other day, I took a look at the 2005 issue. In that issue, it had a list of the most satisfying cars and the least satisfying cars. And I thought, that'd be an interesting study to see if actually two things. One, is the Consumer Reports list fairly accurate? And number two, is there any correlation or relationship between owner satisfaction and longevity of vehicles? So how will this help you? If you're in the market for a used vehicle, I think you're going to find this information quite helpful. Now we're going to get right into the vehicles, but I need to share a little bit of really important information so you understand what you're looking at. Shortly after this video, I'm going to publish a list of the top 10 least satisfied vehicles and see where they fit in. Now I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. Here's the first valuable statistic. One of the statistics that I like to put together is the percentage of vehicles that are known to last more than 200,000 miles. For the top 10 list of the vehicles from the most satisfied drivers, 34.6% of those vehicles lasted more than 200,000 miles. So I've already put together the data for the least satisfied vehicles. That came into only 4.5%. Now for this list, I put together 21 cars total, and all of the vehicles were less than $6,000 in price. Note on the list, I also left off sports cars. I did a video recently on the top 5 sports cars that last 200,000 miles, and you just don't see sports cars used in this capacity, making the information on sports cars just not that relevant for this study. But I know you can have a lot of fun in a Corvette. Another interesting statistic, 19 out of 21 of these vehicles had more than 10% of vehicles above 200,000 miles. That is a significant amount. Now, here's one more question you might ask. These vehicles are so great, can I even buy one? And the answer is yes. I've actually included a statistic that will show you the affordability of vehicles in this top 10 most satisfying vehicles. So you can still find one of these with under 150,000 miles for less than $6,000 US. Okay, let's get into the top 10. Car number 10 is the Toyota Sienna. Years in the study range from 1999 to 2007. 20.9% of vehicles had more than 200,000 miles. The Sienna has turned out to be a great people hauler. Sienna is also available in all-wheel drive, which is helpful in colder climates like I'm in. The highest mileage Sienna was a 2003 model with a 3.0 liter V6 with 310,000 miles. Early 2000s Siennas have had some issues with engine sludge, and one of the more common issues for the early to mid 2000s Siennas was dashboards cracking. The Sienna had the most vehicles in the study of over 1,100 vehicles available across the United States. As always, with any of these vehicles, make sure to have it checked out prior to any purchases. Number 9 is the Toyota Highlander. Highlanders in the study ranged from 2001 to 2008. The highest mileage Toyota Highlander was a 2004 model with a 3.3 liter V6 that had 306,000 miles. 24% of Highlanders had above 200,000 miles, and 26% of Highlanders had less than 150,000 miles for under $6,000. Now, not all those are going to be all-wheel drive. Some of those do come with just front-wheel drive. Don't forget, for the used Highlanders, you can also find the hybrid model. That's done very well as well. One Highlander that you want to stay away from is the 2003 model that comes with the 4-cylinder. That's been known to have engine bolt stripping. You don't see many 4-cylinder Highlanders, but you do want to make sure that you stick with the V6. Number 8, along those lines, is the Lexus RX 330. Years in the study range from 2004 to 2006. 24.6% of RX 330s had more than 200,000 miles. The highest didn't hit 300,000 miles. It was 296,000 miles. That also features the 3.3 liter V6, which is similar to the Highlander. The downside to the RX 330, only 13% of vehicles had less than 150,000 miles. In other words, there are only 16 vehicles nationwide. Makes it a little bit of a challenge to find one of these. If your budget's less than $6,000, it might make sense to stick with the Highlander. Overall, the RX 300 and 330 are going to be pretty reliable. Car number 7 is the Toyota Avalon. Years in the study range from 1995 to 2012. 25.6% of Avalons had more than 200,000 miles. The highest was a 1996 model with 441,000 miles. That featured the 3.0 liter V6. And the good news, 33.6% of Avalons have less than 150,000 miles for less than $6,000. So the good news is that there are a lot of affordable Toyota Avalons. In my opinion, this is a little bit of a sleeper. Nobody ever says, I want to drive a Toyota Avalon. So if you're in the market for a very reliable, affordable family sedan, the Avalon is a pretty good choice. But reminder that the 2006 and 2007 Avalons do have an oil supply line issue. There's a known issue with the VVTi oil supply line bursting. Car number 6, and one of my personal favorites, the Lexus LS430. Years in the study range from 2001 to 2005. The highest was a 2001 model with a 4.3 liter V8 that just missed the 300,000 mile mark at 298,000 miles. The Lexus LS430 and the earlier models of the LS400 have been known for bulletproof reliability. In fact, you may know this, there is a Lexus LS400 that's hitting 1 million miles. For the Lexus LS430, 28.6% of vehicles had more than 200,000 miles. One of the downsides to the Lexus LS430, it's difficult to find one of these under $6,000 with under 150,000 miles, but the Lexus LS models continually hit high numbers and are reliable. Number 5 is the Honda Pilot. Years in the study range from 2003 to 2008. For the Honda Pilot, 29.4% of vehicles had above 200,000 miles. The highest was a 2003 model that featured a 3.5 liter V6 with almost 397,000 miles. Side note on the Pilot, I just had a friend who had an older Honda Pilot. They had well over 300,000 miles and it finally died. And guess what? They bought a new Pilot. 19% of Pilots had less than 150,000 miles for less than $6,000. On a side note, 6 Pilots had more than 300,000 miles. Note from 2003 to 2005, the Honda Pilot has had some transmission failures. There have also been some ignition problems. Car number 4 is the Honda Element. Years in the study range from 2003 to 2011. Rest in peace, Honda Element. The last year was 2011. The highest Element was a 2005 model featuring the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder with 370,000 miles. 35% of Elements had more than 200,000 miles. 20% of Honda Elements had less than 150,000 miles for less than $6,000. Couple notes with the Honda Element. I did a video on small SUVs a few months ago, and a number of you commented on that video about how much you really enjoy and like your Element. There's some fans out there that would love to see the Element come back. There are very low complaints on the Element. It's a little bit quirky. The styling may not be for everybody, but it definitely has a cult-like following. Number 3 is the Nissan Titan. Years in the study range from 2004 to 2011. 39% of vehicles had above 200,000 miles. 26% of vehicles had less than 150,000 miles. The highest mileage Nissan Titan was a 2007 model featuring the 5.6 liter V8. Had 367,000 miles. I've talked to a number of Titan owners and they seem to just really enjoy their Titans. Now granted, the Titan started in 2004. I don't see as many of these hitting the 300,000 mile mark as some of their competitors, but I know there are a lot of Titan fans out there. Reminder with the Titan to avoid the first year. A common problem with the 2004 Titan were differential issues and axle leaks. Vehicle number 2 is the Toyota Tundra. Years in the study range from 2000 to 2007. 58% of Tundras had more than 200,000 miles. The highest in the study was a 2004 model with 389,000 miles. That features the 4.7 liter V8. I did a video on the 4.7 liter V8 if you want to check that out. In addition, there are now 2 Toyota Tundras that have lasted more than 1 million miles. Is this an affordable option? 14.6% of vehicles had less than 150,000 miles. It's probably going to be a little bit difficult to find one with 4-wheel drive for less than 6,000 miles and less than 150,000 miles. The biggest known issue with the Tundra is frame rust. A class action lawsuit occurred for vehicles for 2007 and 2008. The frames rusted. Owners that were participating in that recall had to get new frames. So a quick tip, if you're going to buy a used Toyota truck, it's best to find one in the South. And vehicle number 1 is the Toyota 4Runner. Years in the study ranged from 1993 to 2007. Almost 60% of vehicles had more than 200,000 miles. The highest 4Runner, that was a 2005 model with 466,000 miles. That featured the 4.0 liter V6. In addition, 25 4Runners hit more than 300,000 miles. This is a common occurrence for the Toyota 4Runner. The Toyota 4Runner was also impacted from the rusty frame recall. Years impacted were 2005 through 2011. Less than 9% of 4Runners had less than 150,000 miles for less than $6,000. It's pretty hard to find a lower mileage, older 4Runner. The 4Runner continues to put up legendary numbers. Okay, real quick, 2 other things. The bottom 2 cars, I said 19 out of 21 of these cars had more than 10% of vehicles above 200,000 miles. There were 2 at the bottom that were less than 5%. One was a Jaguar, one was a Mazda 3. So to recap, out of 21 vehicles, 11 were Toyotas, 6 were Hondas, 1 Nissan, 1 Jaguar, and 1 Mazda. So did we answer the question? Again, 34% of vehicles in the most satisfied category had more than 200,000 miles. So compare that to the top 10 least satisfying vehicles at 4.55%. It seems to me that the Consumer Reports rankings are pretty accurate. So thanks to Consumer Reports, please keep up the good work. Reminder that my next video will be the top 10 least satisfying vehicles. As always, thanks so much for watching. Namaste.